Hey there, lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tasha and I am a full-time artist creating videos here on YouTube all about living your authentic creative life unapologetically. And if you clicked on this video, you are probably on a mission or a journey to do the same thing. And I am so happy to help. This video, as you can see by the title, is all about everything that I've learned being a creative entrepreneur in the last 6 years or so. If you are new to my channel, I did just go through a 12-week process of the Artist Way journey, and that was after about 4 or 5 months of really slow workflow in 2024 and dealing with a lot of artist block and thoughts of failure and negative things, blah blah blah. But I have recently come out of that. I have been resurrected. I'm feeling like myself again, and I am ready to share some of the things that I've learned as someone who has run a successful business but have also hit a wall at some point and have recovered. Okay, so this is just my personal experience. I am not an expert. Just put that out there. I'm not an expert. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I just hope to inspire you and give you some direction and motivation on your creative journey. And this can be for anyone of any type of creative field. You can be a writer, a singer, a dancer, a visual artist, fiber artist, whatever. If your passion in life is to do something creative and you want to be able to sustain your lifestyle off of it, these are some tips. I'm gonna give you 10 today, okay? 10. So let's just get right into it. I have notes, okay? Of course. That's not gonna stop me from yapping, but I do have notes. So the first thing, which I think is the most important, is having a clear understanding of your niche, demographic, and market. And I'm hopping right in on the business end of it because at the end of the day, what we're doing is a business, and it's really important to keep that in mind because as artists, it's not like intuitive for us to think in this way. So hopefully I can give you some direction. But essentially, having a niche, demographic, and market gives your goals and business a direction and provides clarity for what it is that you're trying to do. And it also helps you build your mission statement. So I'll give you an example for myself. My business is Jitterbug Art Studio, and my niche is watercolor and digital art. And I guess nature, right? My demographic are people who love the outdoors and are plant collectors and just nature lovers. And my market that I work within is the outdoor industry. Outdoor recreation, nature conservation, that is where I get most of my work and most of my clients within. Does that make sense? And so that has led me to the mission statement of Jitterbug Art Studio creates artwork that is heavily influenced by nature and inspires all people, especially people of color, to have a more meaningful and intentional connection with creativity and the outdoors. See? I would say it's as simple as that, but it's not simple to come up with that and like put yourself essentially in a box, which as artists, I know we hate to feel, but if you're trying to start an art business, there has to be something there. And the box can be very general, but you need to identify what that is so that you know what you're working towards. Like who is buying your stuff, who is looking at your stuff, who's reading your stuff, who's coming to see your show. Like you need to know who your target audience is so that you know who you need to be marketing yourself to. Number 2, understanding business basics, okay? That is your taxes, your bank accounts, all of that stuff. Again, it is not self-explanatory as an artist and creative. I feel like we actually are so repulsed by these things because it feels very like sellouty and weird, but it is very necessary that you understand the basics of business when it comes to taxes, what you need to be recording, what you need to be deducting. And I'm no tax expert, I'm not fitting to tell you what to do, but you need to understand for your state, for your county, all of those things. Like some of the surprises that I had was that I did not know that a lot of times when you do art markets or you're selling in person, depending on if it's, I think it's like public property or private property, you will need to file different taxes for that. You will need to file for a special event sales tax license to do certain markets. I did not know that until I started doing markets, especially like larger markets in public areas. And trust and believe the county that you're working in will be coming after their money. And they come after it in a very aggressive way because they are not expecting you to remember what you made or to file properly. And so they will try and charge you an arm and a leg for a market that you made like $50 on. Like I'm trying to tell you, y'all, understand what you're signing up for when you sign up for it and how you should be collecting your taxes and filing for that stuff. Like if you have your items priced and they are not including sales tax in them, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're paying for that. And they're gonna come get their money. So you need to be pricing your items or your services to include sales tax for that specific county. You need to look it up. It's not the same because like I live in Denver, but if I do an event in Aurora, which is like a smaller county, or in Arvada, which is like a small, like the surrounding counties, they all have their own separate tax rates and their own deadlines and requirements. It feels very intimidating at first, but it's actually not, which is a lot of government tax stuff. Like they want you to feel intimidated to the point of freezing and not doing it, when in reality the form takes 5 minutes to fill out and you only got to pay $7. Like it's really not that heavy. And when I do feel confused, I will just take the day to go down and sit with somebody at records and registration office in the county, and I will have them walk me through it to help me do it or give me the right form or whatever, because you never want to be doing this wrong or forgetting to file things because they will come after their money. So just make sure that you have a basic grasp on business, especially taxes, and start a bank account for your business. Even if you haven't even filed to be a business yet, which that depends on how much money you're making. And I am still a sole proprietor. That may not be the smartest thing on earth, but like, as I told you, I am not an expert, okay? So I like to have control over my own money, and I don't want to have to deal with a whole bunch of hoopla. Yes, I may have to pay a little extra taxes, but that's where I'm at right now. And having a separate bank account really helps me track my business income and how much I'm paying myself, which I still do. Even though I'm a sole proprietor, I still like to be very rigid when it comes to my finances, because it's important. Like as an entrepreneur, like you never know when your next paycheck is coming. So you need to be very clear on where all of the funds are going, and you need to be saving. Even if it's just a little bit, you need to be saving. Save for that rainy day. Save for that month where you get no sales. Save for that season where you get no sales. Like it's what happened to me last year. Like at the end of last year, I literally did not get, I got like 2 jobs in like 4 months, which my normal is like 4 jobs within a month every month. Like that's my normal like workload. Girl, it just was not there. Thank God I had savings, and thank God I have a partner who's willing to like take more of the brunt so that I don't have to burn through my savings and I can like continue to build. But you want to have savings. You also want to be investing back into your business. Like once you have that little extra money, buy the new laptop, buy the new machine that you need, buy the new screen print, whatever. Like that stuff is deductible and will only help grow your business, and you want to be investing in that. I personally also started a little Roth IRA account. Again, I am not an expert, but I don't have a company that is helping me retire. So I have to help myself retire. Okay, baby? So you want to start whatever account or retirement fund feels good to you. You want to make sure that you're saving for your future, because as a solo entrepreneur, especially a creative business owner, it's not guaranteed that you're always going to have work and always going to have the money stacked up. And hopefully, if we're able to do this for the rest of our lives, we're gonna want some type of like cushion for when we can no longer do our talents, you know? So yeah, understand the basics of business. And I know that is like That was a really like thick, intimidating little topic, but it is very important. It is a big part of running a business. You cannot ignore that stuff if you want to be successful, unfortunately. Number 3, rolling right off of that business train, is contracts. I don't care what field you're in, you need a contract. You need a solid contract for all of your business inquiries. You need a contract to make sure you're not liable for things. People aren't taking advantage of you. People can't cancel the daggone event halfway through the fact that you already started cooking all the stuff. Like, there's just so much that can go wrong in a creative exchange, and you want to be secure. So for me, in my contract, which I think is just a standard of professionalism in any field you're in, I have my creative boundaries. Well, like, essentially these are creative boundaries that protect me as a creative. I have my late fee, my kill fee, a timeline, my payment methods, the usage rights for the product or item that I'm selling, my deposit clause. All of that stuff is very important. And say maybe you're a content creator and you know the contracts are always supplied to you from the brand, which I deal with a lot as well. Amend the contract and or send your own contract as well. Okay, cool, give me yours, I'll sign yours, but here's also mine. Or, you know what, this looks awesome, but I would feel more comfortable if we can include a clause about X, Y, and Z. There's nothing wrong with that. And a brand hate to see a late fee clause, baby. They hate to see a late fee clause. And this is something that I learned the hard way. When you invoice somebody and maybe you have a late fee clause in your invoice, if that clause is not also in the contract that you signed, it means jack shit. If I'm being very honest, it means absolutely nothing. Okay, so what's in your invoice, the wording in your invoice needs to also be in your contract every single time. I really do not care. It does not matter. It don't matter if it slows down the process. It don't matter if it's a rush job and they really need it. Absolutely not. I'm not starting anything until my contract is signed and my deposit, if applicable, has been paid. That is, like, when I tell y'all, listen to me, because I have learned this lesson the hard way, okay? I have sent out my contract during a rush job, got right to work because these people was making it seem like this was real business. Everything was going. I worked for this client on the back end getting ready to do this mural job for 3 months, y'all. 3 months. Only for them to all of a sudden want to go a different way with a different artist. Okay, cool. So I send them my bill. That's fine. But now you owe me 50% of the balance because I've already done all this work. Not the man coming back to me talking about something. I ain't never signed that contract, so I don't owe you nothing. Digging through my email, and that it was true. With the rush of like, oh, this is a rush job. Oh, we really need to I completely forgot to double back to make sure that they actually signed the contract that I sent. And so did I get the 50% that I asked for? No, I had to fucking cry and argue with this man to get something like 20% of the balance or something, because he did not see the value in the fact that I had done 2 site visits, had been corresponding online with a different lady for almost 3 months. I had already done concept sketches, color swatches, I had did so much work already for this, and he was not trying to pay me for my work. I'm trying to tell y'all, you get a contract and make sure everything is in it. Number 4, you gotta have fun. All right, let's shake off the business stuff because we gotta have fun. We have to have fun. You have to love what you do in a very childlike, joyful way, because it's creativity, it's art, it's your passion. And when you start to make it your work, it starts to feel like work, I promise. But at the core, if you find joy in what you're doing, that is going to be what gets you up every day to continue doing what you're doing. Discipline can only get you so far. And this is something that I learned in the Artist's Way book, because the author literally says that our inner artist is a child. Like, that is how we tap into our creativity, is tapping into our inner artist child. And when it comes to having a play date, with another person or a little kid or even your inner artist child, you will make a stronger bond through joy than through duty. Does that make sense? Like, if your mom told you had to go play with that little kid next door, there's a greater chance that you don't want to do that versus if you really did enjoy playing with that kid next door. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that friendship is going to be stronger if it's rooted in joy and happiness versus rooted in duty and obligation. Do you know what I'm saying? So always make sure, even though we're making our creativity a business, that we are carving out time for play and we're carving out time for fun. Okay? And with that being said, let's go to number 5. Make more art than you consume. Okay? We are in an age of like constant inspiration, constant motivation, constant being waterboarded with content and people's ideas and all of this stuff. And I just want to encourage you to make more than you consume and to also make more in private than in public. You want to be creating art like nobody is watching. And this is a big tip I be having to tell myself. Like, this is actually one of the biggest goals I have for 2025 is to make art like no one is watching, because I don't want to feel, again, obligated to share every single thing that I do. And you want to be able to make room for mistakes. Like, that only makes sense. Like, if you feel like everything you do is under a microscope, that's really hard to perform under. So go back to the roots, like tap into what it felt like being like a middle schooler, just doing your craft and like having so much fun. Like, cultivate that space for yourself in your creative space so that you can really create the work that is really deep and meaningful to you, and you can have fun, experiment, and learn without the watchful eye of big algorithm. Okay? We don't need it. And on another note, because this is not on my list, but our creativity and our worth and our like value as artists has nothing to do with the algorithm, okay? I promise you it does not. Please release yourself from those shackles. And I know it can be so disappointing and so heart-wrenching to feel like the work that you're creating is not being seen or it's not being valued in the same way as others, but I'm trying to tell you that stuff means nothing. It really means nothing. Because how many of us have come across some type of creativity online that feels like this should be the most viral thing I've ever seen in my life? Like, I've never seen anything more beautiful than this person making these sculptures out of flower petals or whatever, using tears from their boyfriends or something, like, I don't know, like, but that stuff, a lot of times the most amazing, creative, beautiful things often get overlooked, but that does not make it any less awesome. So please release yourself from that shackle. What number are we on? 6. I think we're on number 6. Networking is your key to growth, you guys. That's my 6th tip. Networking has gotten me so much further than my college degree and my resume combined. I'ma just put it out there. I am a visual artist. I'm an illustrator and a muralist and a designer. I have not had to look for my own work in almost 5 years. All of my work comes to me because I don't shut up about myself. If I am in a space, it can be at my chiropractor's. I was just at my chiropractor last week giving out business cards. Like, you can never stop networking. That is the biggest key to building a successful business. Especially in 2025. These people are hiring people that they know. They're hiring people that someone else knows before they're going through their stack of paperwork. I promise you they are. I have heard it word of mouth from companies, okay? Like, they will more so go with the person that homegirl has referred because she once saw this one thing than they would spending time digging through all them damn stacks of papers. That's just the reality of the world we live in. And I know that's annoying, but it's actually better, I think, because you can use that as your leverage. I want you to leave your studio, okay? When I first graduated college and I decided I wanted to work for myself instead of like joining some type of like agency or business or whatever, I really struggled because all I did was sit at home and make art and like look for opportunities online and apply to these opportunities and spend so many hours reading call to artists and submitting and da da da, all that stuff, which is stuff I still do, by the way. But can I tell you, after something crazy like 10 years of applying to open calls, I have never been chosen. I've never been like, I have sent out hundreds and hundreds of applications for mural festivals, expeditions, da da da. And maybe that says something about me. Okay? Maybe that says something about me. But you also have to realize you are putting yourself in a very large pool of amazing, talented artists. And the probability of you being one of thousands of applicants that has the experience they're looking for and fits the art style they're looking for is so slim. It really, and I don't say that to discourage you, because again, I'm still applying to things. I actually had hired somebody one year to apply to things for me. So I was literally spending money out of pocket for an office assistant to spend all her time reading call to artists and applying things to me and making proposals, and I still saw nothing from this. But you know where I get things from? Going out and networking, word of mouth, attending art openings, attending conferences, attending meetups, attending events that I know that people within my industry and in my market, which I have been clear about, I go to these events and I find the people and I talk to them. Hey, I'm an artist, I do X, Y, and Z. Hey, I'm a designer, I do X, Y, and Z. Oh my gosh, you know where I can see myself within your company? It would be awesome if we could do X, Y, and Z. That is how I have built my career 100%. And that is actually hard for some people because maybe you are not a chatty Cathy, maybe you're very shy, but I encourage you to get over that. I really, really do. Because having a way to pitch yourself to people whenever the time sees fit. You're at the nail salon, the hair salon. You're at the hair salon getting your hair done and the lady next to you owns a cafe and she's looking to remodel her cafe. Girl, if you don't tell her that you're a muralist or you're an artist and that you can do X, Y, and Z and that y'all should work together and da 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 da. But no, you're sitting there all shy because you think it's awkward and you don't want to seem like you're bragging or you don't want to da da da. Baby, then you don't want your business to grow. I promise you, leave your studio. Get online, see where the people at, and then leave your studio and go talk to them. That is going to be the best way to do it. And the reward isn't always immediate. There have been times where it has taken a year plus for someone to finally email me and be like, didn't I meet you at that one outdoor conference? Now my company's looking to make a t-shirt design and I would love to use you. I will look through your website and it looks great and I would love to use you. That's how I've done it. That's my secret. Talk to people. Network within your industry. Network locally. Go talk to your local businesses. Go introduce yourself. Make yourself available. Put yourself in their head. Okay, so that once that time comes, and it may not even be them, that business owner is now talking to a different business owner, his little buddy, or he's going to the business owner association group or whatever the hell for laundromats. And he was like, you know what? I actually met an artist like a couple months ago. Let me go. Here's their information. You should call them. Like, come on, y'all. It can be as simple as just getting out there and networking and talking about yourself. Okay. And actually, I just brought up something of my website. If you don't have a website by now, please make a website. If you are only selling your things or marketing yourself on social media, if the TikTok ban didn't teach us anything, do not put all of your eggs in someone else's basket. Hello. That joint can be gone. Instagram can be gone. YouTube could be gone. And it's like, you want to have a place where all of your work lives and people can still find you and communicate with you, see your portfolio, see your value, and still hire you. And it's something that you own. It's you have purchased the domain. No one can take it from you unless the whole internet shuts down. Then it'd be like, okay. But like, social media websites don't belong to you. So they can be gone in a snap. You can make one person mad. This is what happened to me. You can make one person mad online and then they go report your page and then you're shadow banned and no one sees your work anymore. That happened to me because I created a solidarity mural in 2020 and some racist person reported my account and I was shadow banned for over a year, maybe more. I was doing huge, amazing projects, sharing them online and getting 0 audience, losing followers at a rapid pace. I have learned how to disconnect myself from the social media trap because it's not real. As again, if you're on TikTok and you saw all them people talking about, since TikTok is going away, here's some things I lied about, baby girl. That was crazy. But it is not real. You want to be able to have a place that you own, that you know is always going to be there, that people can find you. Okay? So if you don't have a website, please make yourself a website. Invest in yourself. Okay, friends, number 7. All right? Collaborate. Artists are never meant to be creative alone. I personally believe that creativity is not a solitary activity. A lot of times it is, but if you're able to inject some type of collaboration into your practice, that would be amazing. Whether it is creating something with someone else or just creating around other creatives, you will find that you will open up so many more like creative doors in your head that were locked, that like needed some other artist to come in and help open it and be like, oh my god, that's a great idea. Like, you will pull parts of your style out that you didn't know existed by working with other creatives, and it helps again expand your audience and like hopefully lead to like sales or bookings or whatever. Like, a lot of times when we're trying to find new clients or what have you, it just takes collaborating with another person and you guys can like share audiences or share email lists or like whatever, right? But collaboration is key. So if you can join some type of like artist collective, or like maybe you and your artsy friends get together once a month and like co-work together or have like a craft night or something, but just make sure that you are in community and collaboration, like creative or mental collaboration with other artists that you trust. I'm not going to get big in on that, but make sure you trust these people because you don't want to be taken advantage of, people stealing your ideas, running off, making money off of it. Number 8, let's make work that we want to be hired for before we're hired to do it, okay? And this is another like key pivotal step. I'm not kidding. Personal projects are the key to getting projects that you want to be paid for. I have seen it happen with other creatives. I have seen it happen for myself. Okay, like you say you want to be, I don't know, a cookbook author or something, and you really want to make a cookbook, but oh my god, none of these publishers are da da da. Make it anyway. Okay, there are so many websites online where you can make your own prints and books. Like, I have a printed zine that's 60 pages and I have sold over 400 copies of it, and I only spend like $1 a book off the website that I use or something. Like, you do not need a huge publishing house to, or you do not need that brand or that company to hire you to create your dream work or your dream project. Create it yourself now with the materials that you have now and see where that takes you. Start the project. It does not need to be perfect. Just start the project. Do the work you want to be hired for. How do you know that these people will hire you for food illustration if you don't have any food illustration in your portfolio because you're too busy waiting to be hired for it? Hello? Come on. Let's create the work we want to be paid for right now with the materials we have right now. Nothing is stopping us but our own like illusion of perfectionism, which we need to get rid of, okay? Throw it away. Number 9, and this one may be controversial. Comparison, use it. And I feel like some people will tell you, don't compare yourself to other people, da 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 da. Why? Why? Comparison can be a huge tool for growth and motivation. Okay? And I know that is a very fine line to walk on because it can very quickly turn into like a negative self-talk, imposter syndrome, blah 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 situation. But we got to shift our mindsets, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do. You need to shift your mindset into a way where comparison is a fuel for motivation, not a fuel for self-deprivation. Okay? When you see others succeeding, that is a way to be like, I can do that too. Everyone else is just a regular human just like you are. They all brush their teeth in the morning, put their pants on 2 legs at a time. No one is, and obviously there's like layers to all of this, but like we're all human beings at the end of the day, and if one person can do it, you can do it too. Are the paths there going to look different? Yes. But you still can do it. So for me, I use comparison as a tool for growth. What companies are my peers collaborating with? How is this person getting so many views? Like, how are they structuring their content? Oh, I noticed that they show a lot of in process. They're doing a lot of process work. Oh, I noticed that these videos are super aesthetic and get a lot of views, and even I enjoy watching them because they do a lot of cuts. Maybe they're doing a lot of zoomed in, a lot of intimate zoomed. Maybe I can do that with my work. Like, those are ways that you can use comparison to grow. What you should not be using comparison for is to steal. You never want to be stealing people's style or subject matter or anything particular that makes them them. But you can definitely start making a list of like, ooh, I see they collaborated with that brand. That means that brand collaborates with artists. I can put them on my list to reach out to. Like that type of thing. And last, but certainly not least, is number 10. Okay? Do not be afraid to fail. Do not be afraid to fail. Successful creative careers are built off of creative failures. It just is what it is. I learned that from the Artist's Way book. It is what it is. You have to fail in order to succeed. There is no story of any successful person to ever exist that does not include failures. And I reminded myself of that so much during the last half of last year because I told myself that this was not the end of my creative journey. Okay, yeah, my inbox is not dripping, I'm not booked and busy, but this is not the end of my creative journey. How I bounce back from this negative point in my career and how I bounce back from this quote unquote failure is what is going to define me and be a part of my creative story and my journey. It is never bad to fail. You will always learn something from it. You will always come out stronger at the other end. And those creative U-turns, which are like moments where you feel like maybe you should have kept going straight, but instead you got scared or intimidated or whatever, so you made a U-turn and went the other way because you like didn't feel ready for the opportunity or whatever. All of that is a part of our creative journey. So do not beat yourself up over it. Do not discount yourself. Like, we all deserve the room to fail, to experiment, to make mistakes, to make ugly art, to make things we don't like. All of that is a part of the creative process. So I beg you to lean into that and do not stop making. Like, take the risks, because without risk, there's not reward. Do it when it feels hard. Do it when you're scared of the results. Like, just do it. Like, you cannot, what was that? What's that one phrase? You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, bookies. It's very true. It's so true. And I know that's such a corny phrase, but we have to not be afraid of failure. And a lot of times, the things that hold us back in life is fear. Like, we may think it's something else. Oh, I'm procrastinating because I'm just a procrastinator, and I just I don't have time to do this right now, and I need to da da da. The real reason that you're not doing the things that you should be doing is fear. You're afraid of failing at said thing. You're also afraid of succeeding at said thing, because if I succeed, what does that even look like? Am I going to be ready for that next step? Etc., etc., etc. Fear is our biggest enemy. And a lot of times it likes to mask itself as other things, but at the end of the day, that don't be fear. And me and you both are in a battle with fear, because I am not void of it, okay? Like, I struggle with overcoming fear in my business and my creative practice a lot. And it is a active, like, exercise, okay, that I have to do to be like, you know what? No, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Do not be scared of opening that email. Do not be scared of sending off that submission. Do not be scared of taking that huge step, making that big shift. It's okay to fail, but you could also succeed. So, like, what are we waiting for? All right, friends, that is my 10 tips that I've personally learned and have lived through my lived experience as a creative entrepreneur business owner. And I hope that you take something away from this. I hope that it inspires you, it motivates you to kick it in gear for 2025 and to do whatever passion is calling to your heart. I also want to say, your creative career does not have to start, or your creative business does not have to start 100% full time. You are very much still an artist if you also are a bartender during the day, or if you also work at Target during the day, or if you also are a nanny, or if you whatever. If you still clock in for someone else and then have to come home and clock in for yourself, that's still very much valid, and you up there with everybody else. Okay? Like, there's no I'm better than you because I get to do this full time, da 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 da. That's not a thing. We're all still artists. Even if we don't make money off our art, we are still artists, okay? Like, never let your identity and the way that you make money get so intertwined that if for some reason you stop making money off of this passion, you feel like you're no longer connected to that passion. Don't fall for that trap, because I feel like that's what happened to me, and that's why I felt so lost and like weird and like just fucking blocked last year. And it's because I felt like my value as an artist had lessened because I wasn't being paid to do it as much, and that's not true. So take it one step at a time, do it in your own pace, trust the timing of your life, okay, and stay creative. And the last thing that I want to plug, if I may, is asking for your support. I'm a Black woman. I am young. I am a go-getter, okay? And I'm asking for your support. Please watch my YouTube videos. Please subscribe. Please interact with this. Please send it to a friend. I also have a online art shop. I have prints and stickers all about nature and loving plants. If you're a houseplant collector, if you love colors, if you love having a high self-esteem and feeling motivated, check out my art shop. It's actually a big sale going on it right now. Everything is 25% off. I would really, really appreciate your support. It means the world to me, and I am just so grateful that I get to do art as a job. And the YouTube world is still fairly new to me, but I would really love to include YouTube as a part of my income. I'm very close to monetizing, but I'm not one of those accounts who monetized in 10 days or whatever. I have worked really hard and I've posted a lot of very great videos, and I'm still not there yet. So I would really love your help. If you could check out the rest of the videos on my channel. Maybe you like gardening, maybe you love home decor, maybe you love more creative business musings and studio vlogs. I've got it all, okay? So I'll see you in my next video. Bye.